Okay, and now I want to show you a Javadoc for a method. So let's focus on the push method. Right now we have as the specified element onto the top of the stack. We're also going to put HTML tags here, paragraph tags, and in paragraph tags. And something I like to do, I wish I saw more often in Javadocs, but I'm going to put an example. So in my example, I'm going to show what the pre-state of the program looks like, and then I'm going to show the code on the next line, and then I'm going to show the post-state of what the program looks like as a result of, in this case, the method call. All right, so let me show you what I mean here. I'm going to wrap my pre-state in curly braces. So the stack that I'm going to work with is going to be A, B, C, colon 6. So this is a stack with 3 elements and a maximum capacity of 6. A is the bottom element and C is the top element. And you should be able to figure this out by going back up to the type Javadoc and seeing what a typical string representation looks like. Okay, so this is what we have here. So S equals ABC colon 6, and this is a push method, and that takes an element. So my element is going to be X, capital. I'm using capital letters for what goes into the stack. And for variables, I'll just use lowercase letters. So I'm going to have lowercase x equals x. So here in the program state, I essentially have 2 variables. I have the variable s, which is a stack, and I have the variable x, which is an element. All right, and the stack has 3 elements, A, B, C in it, and it's capacity 6, and the variable x just holds capital X. All right, so that's my pre-state. That's going into it. So now I'm going to say S push X is my code. And now it's just basically how does my state change as a result of that method call. All right, so you can probably figure out that if I'm pushing X onto the stack S and X is capital X, then I'm going to be left with ABCX for the elements in my stack. And you should probably be able to figure out that the bound of that stack did not change just because I pushed an element onto it. All right, and X, the value of the variable X, is still going to be capital X. It's actually going to be a reference to the element at the top of the top of the stack now. Okay, so S equals A, B, C, X, colon 6, and X still equals capital X. And that is essentially an example of how the method works. Now I'm going to clean this up by putting some code tags in it and a little bit of emphasis. Okay, I think that looks good to me. I put example at the top, and then I put line breaks between the state and the statement. And yeah, I think that looks good. There's still something that I need to do for this stack, I realize, or I'm sorry, for this push method. And that is, what if I'm trying to push an element onto a stack that is already full? Okay, so it's reached its capacity. It has a capacity of 10, and there's already 10 elements in the stack. Well, if that happens, I want to throw an exception. And actually, I would like that, I would like to put that right in the signature of the method, that I can potentially throw an exception here. So I'm going to add throws, and if the stack is full, that means the state of the stack, the state of the calling object, prevents you from carrying out the method. So in that case, it's going to be an illegal state exception. All right, so this is going to be an illegal state exception. And as a matter of fact, there's also something that I don't want the argument to be. So I've also got an illegal argument exception in here. And of course, the illegal argument exception occurs when the argument is in a state that I don't want it to be in, or that prevents this method from being carried out normally. And that is, if you look way back here at the type, I say elements in the stack may not be null. So I want to throw an exception when that happens. All right, so illegal. Not only do I throw an illegal state exception, I throw an illegal argument exception. Okay, and actually, since I put those in the signature, those also belong in the Javadoc. So I need a throws tag, throws. I'm just going to copy and paste illegal state exception, and the illegal state exception occurs if the stack is full. And there's another throws tag for the illegal argument exception. And that occurs if the specified element is null. And I keep doing this. I keep saying if the stack is full, it should be this stack is full. Let me see if I did this anywhere else. No, I just added an example. So that looks like a good Javadoc for a method. And just to check both the Javadoc for the type and the Javadoc for the method, I'm going to go up to Run, and I'm going to choose Generate Javadoc, and that should open my browser. And there's stack. Let me increase the size of this a little bit. So there's the Javadoc for the type of elements in the stack, a bounded last in, last out data structure. That looks good. This constructor should probably be closer to that, so I might change that at some point. Let's look at the push operation. The push operation, the example is nicely laid out. Element to be pushed on the stack and the throws tag. So that looks good to me.